Guys, this is Rosita Applebum and I'm here with a get ready with me / tutorial. This was highly requested. I wore this look 2 videos ago and you guys were asking for a tutorial. This look is a bit more dramatic because it's more intense, like the white on the inner portion of the eye is layered and it's really packed on. This look is also more dramatic because of the lashes. These are from Koko lashes from Lady Moss Beauty. I purchased a whole bunch of lashes from her and these are the Soho and they are super long. They're really long and they're kind of feathery, but they're very dramatic, and every time I wear them I get compliments on them. People stop me, like strangers, like what lashes are those, because they're definitely in your face lashes, but they're not too intense, like in the sense that they're not too dense. They're not very black, but you can add just 1 coat of mascara. I find that you don't really need to add mascara to these because they're so dramatic. My hair was already straightened from yesterday, but I just parted it down the middle in the video and kind of showed you how I style my bangs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to see this look, then keep on watching. So I'm getting started with primer, and I'm using the Benefit Porefessional like always, and I'm just going to rub that in. And for a foundation, I'm going to be using Estee Lauder's Double Wear Foundation. This shade is a tad bit too light for me, but this is Desert Beige, and the number is 2N1, and I'm using a beauty blender because this foundation is very full coverage, and it is more on the dry side, very matte. So I'm just using my beauty blender to blend that in. I'm using the Nars primer, so this is just an eye primer, and it's going to make sure that my shadows stay on all day. And I'm just going to rub that in with my fingers, and I'm actually just going to let that sit for a minute and then move on to my eyebrows. I like to just let my primer kind of just adhere to my skin. So for my eyebrows, I use a couple of different shades, but I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow palette, and I use Taupe, soft brown, caramel. I kind of just mix colors, and every day I kind of just use different colors, so I don't really have one specific one that I use, but I do use a lot of soft brown and taupe from that palette, and this is just a Anastasia Beverly Hills brush as well, so I'm just going to be shading them in. I'll be coming back to my eyebrows. That's just how I like to do my makeup. I like to go back and forth between steps. It's my personal preference. You know, you guys can do your makeup how you like to do it. This is just how I do my makeup. I'll be using this Meet Matte Nude palette from the Balm, and I'm starting off with Matte Malloy, and it's just a cream color. It's highly pigmented, as you can see here. It's actually kind of like a white shade. So I'm just packing that on with a Sonia Kashuk brush, and I'm just going to put this all over the lid, and I'll be coming back with a more of a cream color on top of that, but I'm just going to use this as my base. It's very pigmented. It's kind of on the powdery side, so you do have to be careful because it can look a little dry and powdery. But I think these are awesome. You can always find these on Haute Look. The Balm is always on Haute Look, and also they have flash sales. And now I'm using this shade called Matte Lombardy, and I'm going to be using a pencil brush from Zoeva, and I'm going to be putting this into my crease. It's a yellow tone shade color. Next, I'm jumping into Matte Rosen, and I'm going to put this in my crease. Right now, the shadows look a little crazy, but I promise you I'm going to be blending them, so just stay tuned. I like to just go back and forth between colors and really layer my shadows. Ever you feel like a socket, like your eyeball socket. Now I'm using this brush to blend everything out, and I'm going to be going back and forth using swiper motions to really blend out that brown color, trying not to get too close to the white, but as you can see I kind of bring it down a little bit because I am going to just clean the white up in a bit. So just keep on blending. Now I'm using the Lorac Pro palette, and I'm using the color Fawn, And then I'm using this other brush, which is from Senna Cosmetics, and this is their feather brush, and I'm just going to be blending even more. This Inglot Gel Liner number 77 has been my go-to liner. It is Balm.com. I love it. It's highly pigmented, very, very black, matte. Not even matte. It's just not shiny, not matte. It's the perfect black. It's very, very intense. And I'm just using a random brush. I believe this one's from Morphe, or Morph. And yeah, look at that color, girl. It is strong. Now, I did my eyeliner a little weird today, a little bit bigger, and I just like to clean it up with a Q-tip, but just do your eyeliner how you normally do it. I've been into a really nice dramatic wing, so I will have a talk through kind of tips and tricks video on liquid liner and gel liner coming up very soon because it's highly requested, but here you can kind of get a sense of how I do my eyeliner. As always, I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. It's from the drugstore. I love this concealer, and I have this in the shade Sand, and I always use my beauty blender for this, and I just kind of like to clean up the wing with the tip of the beauty blender. Don't be afraid to use Q-tips and the tip of like a sponge or anything to really like sharpen up that edge of the wing. If anything, you could always add more black to your liquid liner or your gel liner, but it's nice to have a nice crisp line, so I'm just using the point. After applying a couple coats of mascara, that was a YSL mascara, I'm going in with this Givenchy powder. It's actually a foundation. This is in the shade number 1, Porcelain, Elegant Porcelain, and I'm using that to set my concealer. And then I'm going to be going in with Costa Riche. It's one of my favorite eyeliners from MAC. It's a red tone brown, and I'm just going to be placing that in the waterline. Now, I've been using that foundation to set my under eye because it's a very nice, soft, buttery foundation, and it's not too thick or full coverage. Now I'm using this Guerlain 4 Seasons bronzer, and this is in the shade Moyen Brunette. Basically, it's the medium shade. It's really, really dark, and I'm using my Nars Ida brush to really carve out my cheeks. And now I'm going to be using an angled brush from Zoeva to just basically apply that bronzer in the perimeters of my face and really bronze up the face. Now again, that foundation is a little bit light for me, so I've been loving this bronzer because it adds a lot of warmth to the skin. It never looks orange or muddy or cakey. It is a little pricey, but I think it's highly worth it. Now I'm adding a little bit of blush, or not a little bit, a lot of bit of blush. This is from Becca. It's Damselfly, and I'm using a Sonia Kashuk number 29 brush, and this is my go-to brush for blush. And to blend everything out, since it's a little intense, I'm using a clean Marc Jacobs brush. You can use any clean brush. I just like that this one's really soft, and I'm just going to blend everything. It has no product on it. I just don't want harsh lines. These lashes are amazing. They're by Koko lashes. You can find them at Lady Moss Beauty. She's on Instagram, and these are the Soho style, and they are so long and really, really flirty and girly, and they really play up your eyes. So I have been loving these lashes. They give me life, girl. Now, for my eyebrows, a lot of people critique me for always going back to my brows, but I'm using Anastasia Dip Brow in dark brown to just kind of clean them up a little bit more and sharpen them. That's just how I like to do my makeup. I like to base my brows off of my eye makeup. And then to set that, I'm using the Tarte Medium Brown Brow Gel. This kind of just fills in any sparse areas and keeps them in place all day. I've really been loving this brow gel. For under the eye, I'm using from the Lorac Pro Palette the shade fawn. It is amazing. Fawn and camel underneath the eye. That's a perfect combination because it really just smokes everything out, but it doesn't look too intense. And then I'm adding a little bit up into my crease and above. And now I'm just cleaning up the edge of that white. Like I said, I was going to go back, and I'm using the shade Cream and Fawn from the Lorac Pro palette. And the reason why I didn't use the matte palette from the Balm is because that one's a little powdery, like I said. So this one's from the Lorac palette is a little bit more buttery, and I like how it looks. So then I'm just cleaning that up with a clean brush and just blending everything out a little bit more. For my lips, I'm using this Makeup Forever Natural Beige Lip Liner. This is just like a mini version that I got for free from Sephora. And I'm going to be outlining my lips with this. And I'm going to be using a nude lipstick. This one's from Nars. It's from their Audacious lipsticks. And this is in the shade, let me just grab it, Raquel. And I love this color. And for a highlight, I'm using Bobbi Brown Pink Glow. I love this highlight. You can see it in effect here. It's kind of more on the silver side, and I love it. It just looks really great with any look, I think, in my opinion. For my hair, just parted it down the middle, and I'm going to be using this QT Performance hair flat iron, and I believe I got it on flatironexperts.com. I'll try to find a link. This is kind of like my go-to flat iron. I love it. It leaves my hair nice and shiny. And for my bangs, I basically flip them backwards and then just kind of create a, almost like a curl. And then for this side of my bang, it's kind of hard for me to do the other side because I'm right-handed, but I kind of just try to flip it back, and then I just basically hairspray it. I'm going to be using L'Oreal Elle Knit hairspray, and yeah. I felt like the lipstick was a little too dark, so I added a little bit of MAC Myth, and this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoy this, and stay tuned for my outfit. Bye, guys. Mwah.
Oh